Welcome back to the Hawke Optics British Minirifle Championship. We're here for round 3. We've already seen 12 fantastic stages. We've got 6 more ahead of us, all with different difficulties, John.
Yeah, that's the thing about Minirifle and practical shooting generally. There's no such thing as a course of fire. There are lots of different ways of shooting, different targets, different distances, different disciplines. It's a very, very varied sport.
Interesting stage today is one on a balance board.
Yeah, well, we like to make it complicated for people if we can, but the championship's actually holding up pretty closely, you see.
Yeah, Jim Starley in top spot, followed by Kelvin Leeton, and closely followed by Ben Ducker. It's going to be interesting to see what happens after this stage.
It's interesting, the top 3 are covered by a mere 10-12 points after 2 stages, so it's pretty close.
Paul van der Bosch in the super senior category, holding well in 12th.
And Josh Hicks there, 18th, only shot 1 stage so far, and he's already straight off the bottom leaderboard, so he's a round down already. I'm here with Jim, who now is currently leading the championship after the first 2 rounds. We're halfway through round 3. How's it been going so far, Jim?
It's been okay, I think. I mean, it's not as good as last time, but we'll see when the scores are on the door. I mean, 1 bad stage, so yeah, probably haven't won this time. Some tough competition out there.
But you've had some commitment in the championship. I believe the second
Yeah.
round was supposed to be your wedding day.
Yeah, so if it wasn't for COVID, I'd have been getting married last time and wouldn't have been here. So I think I should dedicate the last win to my fiancée, Farry.
Well,
She's been very understanding.
Think what shooting has saved you already.
Exactly.
Good, well, look, good luck the rest of the day and the rest of the championship, and see how you get on. All right?
Yeah, thank you.
Well, stage 1 is about to get underway. John, here's a stage map. What have we got here?
Yeah, a lot of apertures here, a lot of moving around, and also a different way of shooting it. There are lots of different ways you can shoot this, so it'll be interesting to see the competitors in terms of how they approach the course of fire.
And first up, we have a new shooter, Joseph Cooper.
Yes, we've got 2 little small micro targets behind that barrier, and Joseph's elected to shoot between those 2 barriers. The alternative is to shoot in between the 2 barriers to the right. There's no right or wrong way of doing this, but certainly it's quicker to have least number of changes. Oh, little jam there.
Another jam.
I think you need to change that magazine. Yep, that magazine's not doing me any favours.
Struggling here is Joseph.
I think you'll be disappointed by that.
There is second place in the championship at the moment, Kelvin Leeton. First 2 targets out of the way, now onto the plates.
So Kelvin's elected to go for that gap in between the barriers there to get more target shot.
I was wondering if you could actually use that.
Yeah, it's in the course of fire when it's explained by the range officer what they can and can't do. So that was deliberately left in there to give shooters an option.
On the ball this morning here is Kelvin.
Yeah, that was a good run from Kelvin. I think you'll be pleased with that. I think you rushed the last plates a little bit, but got them down quickly enough.
Range clear, time 23:73. Stand by!
Oliver Bloomfield, again, new shooter here. First time at Silverstone entirely. He's more of a shotgun shooter, but still pretty good at Minirifle. He's taken the targets at 30 metres first rather than doing the plate.
Is that just preference, or did you see a benefit of doing that?
It's just what works for one shooter may work for other. Personally, I think you're better off going both together, but oops.
Seriously?
This is going to ruin his day, I think.
Oh, it's jammed.
There's a round jammed in that chamber, you can see it.
He's not happy with that.
As long as he keeps the gun in the safe direction, not pointed anywhere unsafe, you can carry on clearing it. What you can't do is use any tools in the gun. You can disassemble it, but you can't use any tools. But I think this has pretty much ruined this stage, I'm afraid.
Don't believe it.
Yep, not happy.
Unbelievable.
Part and parcel of shooting. Here is the championship leader, Jim Starley.
I see Jim doesn't go anywhere near as those targets, which saves him some time.
Very experienced shooter. The Ruger sounds a lot quieter to the other guns.
It is, yeah, it's just quieter. He's also got a moderator on the front as well, a brake, which makes it a bit quieter as well.
Very good run by Jim.
So again, he's gone the plates first, then do the papers after. There's no right or wrong. It's just, I think it's a good run there.
It's more of just a plan in your head, isn't it, of what you're going to do?
They always say, plan the shoot, shoot the plan, but when the buzzer goes off.
Here's the super senior leader at the moment, Paul van den Bosch.
See, that was my preferred aim, was to go between, because it allows you to carry on standing rather than wasting time going down one knee, but there's no right or wrong. Again, he's taking the papers first.
This is the camera angle from the range officer as well.
Yes, it's interesting to see what the range officer see. And again, all James is looking for is trigger finger and muzzle. He's not caring about the scores being scored. He's all concerned about safety and obviously doing the timing.
Does the timer stop after the last bullet?
The timer works on a microphone, so the last round shot is what the microphone picks up. That's the end of the time. Looked a clean run though from Paul.
Aaron Coates, we've seen get better and better.
Yes, he's been improving. The first 2 rounds he got better visibly each time, so he's showing a bit more confidence here as well.
Yeah, put 3 rounds into each of those targets.
Yeah, what's the bets? The 3 alphas in both of them. Now he's learnt to also use the upright and then put his thumb on that and then rest the gun on that to give it a more stable shooting platform.
Are you able to rest on anything in the range other than what you've been told not to?
Yeah, inside the red marked area you can pretty much use what you want. What you will find though is some of these barriers that we put up aren't very secure. They're designed to be a sight barrier. They're not designed to be resting or leaning on, so they may well fall over, so you can't rely on them. He's getting the plates demo.
Couple of misses, but he won't be too unhappy.
That's a good run from Aaron. That Cox. Yep, he's going papers first. Well, he's going for the plates, he's missing badly. He's got to be careful, he's resting the barrel of the gun on the aperture, and that will change the point of impact on the bullet if you lean too hard on it. I think that's what's happening. Yeah, he's shooting over too high. He's left one plate up. Oh dear. I think he shot that dry. Has he seen that plate? Thank God.
Well done, Matt. David Ashcroft. Again with a funny hat.
He does like his hats, says David, isn't it? Oh, there we go. David's known for his sliding knee slides into a position. He can't shoot unless he can do that. Most of us would just end up dislocated kneecaps, but not David.
Oh, in the senior category probably, yeah.
Yeah, well, the problem is I could do that, I couldn't get up again. David even has special knee pads to make sure, but he shot the magazine dry now, so good slide, David, but I think you forgot to reload.
Pretty much a clear run on the plates.
Yes, good shooting though.
Stand by!
Back with Alex.
Going for the back targets first. Oh no.
No, plates first. You can tell that he's shooting the gun canted using his red dot sight. I imagine he'll go to his primary. There you go, for the plates, the papers at further distance. The beauty of multi-optics, you shoot 1-0 for one for the other. Much quicker transition between targets. Not quite as dynamic as David with his sit on the floor.
No, but he is down though.
You just shot stage 1. How'd you get on?
Yeah, not too bad. A little bit slower than I would have liked. All alphas hit everything, which is always a good start. At the end, I sort of fell on my bum a bit.
Yeah, it looked like there was
kneeling,
sitting.
Yeah, the plan was to go kneeling, and centre of gravity kicks in, and yeah, ended up on the arse essentially.
Stand by!
Joining us for the first time this year is Tom Ellaway. Something we've not explained so far is that you do get 2 dropped rounds. So he's already dropped 2 rounds, so he has to score in every single round that he enters now.
Yeah, Tom's a good shooter, got a lot of experience. Again, more shotgun, less mini rifle, but he's here the first time and seems doing a good job. I think he's nailing this one.
Oh, he's got to be happy with that.
I think that's a stage winning time there, if you ask me. Okay, so I'm here with Tom, who just shot the first stage. Tom, how'd you get on?
Yeah, not too bad. Quick little malfunction on the first couple of targets, but you know, 3 months off shooting, it's not too bad.
It's your first time shooting for a while, since lockdown, obviously.
Yeah, I've had a chance to zero on a range, but that's about it. Nothing sort of competitive or obviously on a set course of fire, so yeah, not too bad.
Look, good first stage. Good luck for the day.
Thanks very much.
So here is the result for stage 1, and you were right, John. Tom Ellaway does take the win, followed by Jim Starley and Ben Ducker.
Yeah, that was a very smooth run from Tom. That's a definitely deserved win there. And Paul van der Bosch, again, super senior, up in 9th. That's extremely good.
Yeah, just in front of you, actually. Well, behind you, sorry.
Yeah, moving on.
Ian Clark in 11th, Rupert Pearce 12th, Tom Sample 13th. Richard Baird, he's going to be one to look out for, I think, as the season progresses. Yes,
he's done well. That's 15th for him.
Tony Porter had a shocker down in 28th.
Yeah, not a good stage for Tony, but fortunately there's 5 more stages to go, so you can make it back up. I'm here now with Paul, who is currently leading the Super Senior category after 2 rounds. Paul, doing well?
Yes, I am. I'm pleased with that. I haven't been shooting mini rifle very long, and I'm really pleased the way it's gone.
So after 2 rounds in, you think you're confident for the rest of the championship?
Well, it seems to be going better. I've got a scope for the first time, which made a difference over the red dot at long range. That's made a big difference, so I hope so.
And your experience, though, you've been shooting practicals quite a long time.
I've been shooting practical a long time, but it was mainly pistols before we lost ours. Then I went to Action Air, which was great, and now I'm shooting full bore pistols again abroad. But I really took to mini rifle more than I thought I would, because I've never been a rifle shooter. So.
Well, obviously you're doing very well, so well done. So
good
luck rest of the championship.
Thank you very much.
That's fantastic to hear from Paul van der Bosch. But stage 2 is about to get underway, and as you can see, it's a bit of fun.
Yeah, this is going to raise some eyebrows. The shooters have to avoid shooting the no-shoots and shoot the targets behind them, which is going to be a bit different for them.
What's the penalty for hitting the red targets?
So we've got a 10-point penalty to hit red targets, and obviously what the shooters need to do is to time their shots to shoot the targets behind without shooting the red shoot no target. So at around about 25 metres to the no shoots and around about 40 metres to the targets.
Stand by!
Steve Durrant up first in his Bradley Arms AR-15.
It's not easy, this. You've got to decide whether you shoot as the target is turning or shoot once it's turned. If you shoot once it's turned, you're going to run out of time. Or if you shoot as it's turning, if you shoot too quick, you're not shooting the no-shoot targets. And a 10-point penalty is a real killer on this stage.
Difficult to see from here whether they're hitting the targets or the no-shoots.
Yeah, and also they will carry on turning the whole time. So Salvatore now.
Your main competitor in the senior category.
So he's different plan. He's moved all the way to the left-hand side. He thinks he can see more targets from one position there, and he may be right.
Well, that's a strategy to go for here, isn't it?
Yeah, you want to minimise your movement. Find yourself a position to shoot all the targets you can. Obviously, hopefully avoiding the no-shoots.
It's another carefully planned out stage by you, John.
Yeah, I like to be mean sometimes.
Stand by!
Matt Liddy. Again, he's choking completely different start point. It seems to be working though. He's got nice rhythm going there.
2 shots per target as well.
It's difficult. Also, you're sitting there, you're waiting. You know you're against the clock, but you have to hold your fire until it's the right time. Looked a good time though. Here's Ben.
Shooting while they're closed and open.
Yeah, you can see the targets in between the nose shoots if you shoot the right position. But it's very easy to go too far and then find out you missed one.
Decent run by Ben, very quick. Alex is shooting from right to left.
One of the tough things about this stage is that because I've put 2 sets of 3 and 2 sets of 2, you've got to remember which ones you shot and which ones you haven't. And I can guarantee there'll be lots of targets there with 4 rounds in and some with none.
Jim Starley, the championship leader.
Now again, Jim's got a history in just gallery rifle shooting, which is at 25 metres normally. So he'll be used to distance and he'll be used to turning targets as well, albeit normally he has a target on those rather than a no shoot.
He's put a few extra rounds in those targets as well.
Stand by. Nicely timed. That seems pretty deliberate. I think he's got all of those. He's certainly got the 2 sets of 2 on the right hand side. Just the last ones to go.
Throwing in a few extra rounds into that last target.
I'm here with James. James, how'd you get on? Last couple of stages looked pretty good.
Yeah, not bad actually. Obviously, you go look at the stage. It all changes when you actually go and shoot the stage. I found this stage better off when they were actually visible, the reds, because I just don't want to risk that flip. Is so quick. You can. It's so easy just to get that round on that red.
1 second turn. It seemed to go all right though.
Yeah, no, I'm really enjoying myself. It's nice weather. I hadn't shot for a while because of the lockdown, and managed to zero it in on the last week. So hopefully, I'll continue on and not get too many. 1 mic. So it went too bad.
Well done. Good luck today.
Thank you very much, John. Cheers.
Let's see how James got on. Here are the results from stage 2, and it's Ben Ducker who took the honours ahead of Kelvin Leeton. Now that's interesting because going into this round, Kelvin was actually ahead of Ben in the overall championship, so it'll be interesting to see what the championship looks like at the end of round 2.
Again, James did well in 5th. First time round was really good.
Yeah, Richard Baird, as I said, he's one to keep an eye on down in 11th. Zach Ramage 14th. Tom Goodman 15th.
And also some of the new shooters. Neil Wheeler, for example, again, first for competition, 3rd round in. He's now picking up into the mid-20s, going from the bottom. So very good.
Joseph Cooper, just straight behind him there, along with Aaron Coates.
John, different kinds of targets this time out, turning targets with penalties. Talk us through it.
Yeah, a little bit different. We've seen obviously penalty targets before, and obviously there's a penalty to shoot one of these, but with turning targets as well, we decided to mix them up, having a penalty target on a turner. So we've seen as one of the stages this round that the timing is such that you can shoot the targets, but if you get it wrong, then you're going to shoot a penalty as well. And obviously, so whilst you may well still shoot the target because the bullet goes through it, the penalty is too big a thing to have. So it's been interesting watching people try and time the shots. Obviously it takes time rather than simply try and rattle the rounds through there, etc. So it's been quite interesting to watch it.
Different tactics as well on that stage. People going to the left, people going to the right, people just slowly walking through it.
It's one of the best things about practical shooting is that when you try and design a course of fire, there is no one way of doing it. There should be lots of different ways of doing it, and the question is which is the best way. And it's interesting to watch the shooters go through. I didn't see a single guy shoot it the same way, and no one shot it the same way I did either. So it's part of the fun of it is that I mentioned earlier on, it is a bit like chess. You look at the chessboard and you figure out where to put the pieces. When you're shooting practical shooting, you're looking at the target, shooting what do I shoot first, how do I shoot it? And things like moving targets and penalty targets just add to that interesting feature of it.
The competitors look rather surprised when they saw that this morning. What other surprises have you got up your sleeve?
Well, we had some fun ones this weekend. Obviously, we've had some the Virginia count with a limited number of rounds that through a few people. I agree with you. We were watching the competitors the first time they saw the turning penalty targets, and you see them look at each other going, "Is this really legal? Can we do this?" And it was great fun to see that. They all shot it pretty well. And one of the Target's now got a few holes in it, so you've got a few misses there, a few target penalties. But it's that kind of reaction you get, and why when I design course for fire, I want to hear that chatter of, oh wow, that's part of the fun of practical shooting.
Well, thank you very much, John. On with the next stage.
Stage 3 is a run and gun stage, swinging from left to right, paper targets. John, talk us through it.
Well, here's Ollie. He's doing well. Also, it's one of the things we're quite unique here at Silverstone Shooting Centre is we have quite a wide arc of fire. So here the shooters have to move up the range, making sure they get all the little micro targets as they go.
And here is the stage map.
So as you can see, either side and the barrier in the middle, so they can't just go around one side or around the other. So very easy to miss a target here and walk straight past it, or think you shot it and find out you haven't.
As a left-hander, which way would you go?
It makes some difference actually, to be honest. Left or right?
Well, this is Richard Baird. Let's see how he gets on.
A little bit of creeping from Richard, yeah.
Do you get penalised for that?
Yeah, it's a procedure. So James, in those terms, could bring him back, or what he did there was hold on before he set the beep off to make sure. And again, unloaded start, so it means the shooter's got to get the idea of getting loaded quickly onto the target.
A couple of Alpha Charlies there.
Yeah, he's been quite deliberate here. I don't think it's going to be a quick time, but I think his gun score, so the actual score on target, should be pretty good. He's run it dry.
Again, the best thing to do when changing mag is do it when you're moving.
Yeah, you'll notice as the series goes on, it's the most common mistake for new shooters to do is to not count the shots and therefore run out of ammo. Good run though. Nick Towndrow in the senior category. Nick is very experienced, big steel plate shooter as well, a big pistol shooter. Not as much Minirifle experience, but he's got a good lot of experience generally.
Just trying to count the shots. It's 2 per target so far.
Can't see Nick running out of ammo. I really can't. Look like mainly alphas. Got the Charlies there. There you go. Mag change. Nick's not stupid. He's struggling a bit with the optics though. He seems to go straight for his primary, then drop to secondary. I think it's new for Nick to do this. It seems to be awkward for him. But again, a lot of new things are shooting this distance. Yeah, I think you got that one, Nick.
I think he's dead.
Back with Tom.
I'm expecting a lot of things from Tom.
Yeah, I think he's struggling to get his sight picture there to get them all on. Yeah, it's a second misfire. And this light strike there, where the round hasn't loaded properly. And again, as he's running down range, he's got to make sure that barrel's pointed down range, which he is.
So you've got 180 degree sweep, haven't you?
Yeah, 180 degrees. If the shooter moves beyond 90, 90, 90, as we say, so a 90-degree angle from the course of the fire, then technically it will be a safety breach and a disqualification. Yeah, he's having a bit of a mare now. That's his 3rd or 4th light strike on there, so I think that magazine may be causing him issues.
It's just changed his magazine as well.
Yeah, most of the time problems on these guns is magazine related, but when you're middle of a stage, it's hard to know what to do.
And it's jammed again. He wanted to put a few more rounds in that last target, but I think he's called it a day. So welcome back to round 3 of the Hawke Optics British Minirifle Championship. Here are the results for stage 3, and it's Jim Starley taking the win over Ben Ducker. Nick Towndrow doing very well on that stage.
Yeah, that was good for Nick. I saw his stage was very good, so he'd be happy with 3rd place there, I'm sure, and top senior shooter as well.
Kelvin Leeson coming in 11th. He's not going to be happy with that, falling behind Ben Ducker.
A little bit, yes. I think it's a good stage for him. And Tom Ellaway, again, we saw him literally run out of time at the end, so that didn't help his score at all.
Zach Ramage will be very happy, all the way down in 30th.
Yeah, that must be some kind of gun problem for Zach. He's a better shooter than that, so obviously a problem for him in that stage.
And Aaron Coates in 23rd. Stage 4 sees us moving on to the 100-metre range. We have tables, we have chairs, we have plates. A bit more interesting than the first 3. John, what's going on here then?
Bit different this one. They have to shoot some of the plates on the right hand side from the seated position and shoot the left hand plates from the other table without seating. So here is a question of lateral thinking. Now the trick to this stage was actually to go and get the chair, bring it over to the table and shoot both plates from seated position. No one figured that out though.
You've got to load your gun from the table.
Nah, it's too low. He's shooting the tyres, I'm sure of it. Yep. Yep, he's hitting the tyres. What's happening here is Aaron is looking down the scope and he can see the plates, but obviously the barrel of his gun is beneath that and it's basically pointing at the tyres. Yep, Clive's figured it out. There we go. That saved Aaron a few pounds on ammunition. Tough this. These plates are only 4 inches across and he's shooting about 80 metres away.
Is there any drop in a bullet at this range?
Not really, no. Again, point of impact on the 0, but no more than that. The issue here in these distance shoots is once you know where your 0 is, where it's going, you can knock them all down. But you've got to figure out where it is first. Now he's got one down, you see, he's knocking them all down. Oh dear. I think he's out of ammo.
Oh, he's having a nightmare here.
Yeah, again, same thing. You get stressed out and all of a sudden things don't work for you.
You're just getting into a rhythm then as well.
Don't think there's something jammed in there. Oh, yeah, there must be.
Let's see if we can recover now.
This is tough to have the problem with a gun or your ammo on an 80 metre stage. You've got to calm yourself down. Aaron's heartbeat will be up, his breathing rate will be up. It all hurts your accuracy.
At this sort of range, are you holding your breath as you pull the trigger?
Yes, you are. Yeah, you generally with accuracy shooting, you should breathe out and then hold your breath while you're shooting. Obviously, kind of hard to do that lots of rounds. So what a lot of people tend to do is actually hold the breath in. It's not as good as breathing out because you're tensing the muscles in the diaphragm. But when you're having lots to shoot, I don't know many people can hold their breath with an empty set of lungs for more than a few seconds.
He's got his eye in now.
He should get these down now. Have I cursed him again?
Just slightly high and right. Good ending.
Well done, Aaron. I think that's one of perseverance there for Aaron.
Let's see how Matt gets on here. He's got a bipod.
He's running a risk of hitting the tyres. He should be okay, but it does seem low. No, obviously not. Going down.
Do make some interesting noises, those targets.
Yeah, when you hit them properly, the ping goes down. The other sound you hear is a metal plate beneath it. So if you hear a noise not going down, you're too low. If you can't hear a noise, you're hitting the sand, you're too high. Lovely.
Nicely done, Matt.
6 for 6 and the plate sitting down. It's nice shooting.
Let's see what Ben Ducker can do.
I think he's shooting high. Yeah, he's struggling a bit here, isn't he? Difficult. There we go. I think he's been shooting higher across the top and all of them. Now he's got his eye in.
Could be a good recovery by Ben. I think he's wasted too much time so far, though.
He's quick on his feet, though, for a big lad. Yeah, that bipod is raised very high to obviously clear those tyres, but I think he's gone too far. He should be 6 for 6 for this.
Yeah, good recovery.
Not bad. Good recovery from Ben.
So here are the results after stage 4. Jim Starley taking the win again. Matt Cox, we saw have a good run there, and then John.
Yeah, well, I went to the far table, picked up the chair, shot them there, and came back and shot the other chair. So sitting down and shooting is much more accurate.
And Paul van der Bosch just outside the top 10, still leading the super senior category.
And then Nick Towndrow, again senior, up from 14th. That's a good run from him. And then again, Neil Wheeler, 15th this time. So Neil has come from the bottom, moving up the chain very nicely.
And David Ashcroft in 21st.
And Tom Samples obviously having a mare of a day, 6%. I think he'll put that down to experience.
So on to stage 5. This is a fun one, John. Talk us through this.
Yeah, it's slightly different, this one. You can see the guys resetting it. Only the distance to the target is only 10 metres. All plates. The two differences here are that we have a Virginia count stage. So this means they only have 10 bullets. 10 targets. If they miss, 10-point penalty. And they're doing it all standing on a balance board. Those sort of boards you use to exercise when you have an injured ankle. They have to make sure they stay on that board and not touch the ground outside.
Are you ready? Stand by.
And it's Paul van der Bosch up first. You can see him struggling already, balancing.
Oh yes, unloaded start. I forgot I did that. Yeah, just make it just a little bit harder. So he's already missed one plate, so that's 10-point penalty. Oh.
Ooh.
Now you can put your foot on the ground to steady yourself, but what you can't do is fire the gun at a target whilst your foot's on the ground.
Are you ready? Stand by.
Steve Ollington. It's a new shooter again this year.
This is a tough stage for a new shooter. I mean, even the experienced shooters were complaining about this one. It's amazing how harder it is to take that balance off you, to try and aim your crosshair or your red dot on the target and stop moving around. It's not easy. Yeah, out of rounds.
Are you ready? Stand by.
Here's Ben looking for a good round here. Well done, Ben.
Very good. That looks like a stage win there from that.
Stand by.
There's the man just behind him in the overall championship, Kelvin Leeton.
Very smooth load from Kelvin. Wow, challenge accepted from Ben. Hold my beer. Off you go, Kelvin.
Stand by.
Good work. Tony not having the greatest of days so far.
Yeah, but he's done that balance ball well. Looks like he's out surfing. Especially with the short. Good run, good run. Well done, Tony.
Are you ready? Stand by.
There's the overall leader. See what Jim can do.
Ah, that's a shame.
Oh.
That was looking like a win there, but those two drop shots will hurt.
Here's Joseph Cooper.
I think his firing pin's broken. Normally when you have a round where you fire one, the next one won't fire. The firing pin is worn out or broken.
It's been struggling with that all day.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think he's very happy now.
That's unlucky.
Are you ready? Stand by.
Blair in the ladies category.
He's very composed on the balance board again. I do say that women have better sense of balance than men do generally. She seems like she's walking a park there.
One of the best stages, this.
You're finished. Unload and shoot it. Okay. Are you ready? Yes. Stand by.
It's Steve. Good run from Steve.
You finished. Unload and shoot it.
Kept it together at the end. I think he's pleased with that one.
Are you ready? Stand by.
Mark Cox, second in stage 4. Let's see how he gets on here. Good run. And here are the results for stage 5. It was Ben Ducker who took the win. Richard Baird coming in second place ahead of Kelvin Leeton. He had a really good run as well.
And Steve Durrant, 5th place. That's his best score he's ever had. Me as well, so I shall be upset about that.
Should have DQ'd him.
Yeah. Matt Cox at 11th did very well. Oliver Bloomfield up at 13th as well, and Zach Ramage 14th. Aaron Coates, he did a good run at 15th there as well.
Yeah, Jim Starley all the way down in 20th.
Those 2 misses. That kind of annihilated stage there entirely. And then Neil Wheeler again, I think had a bit of a mare there as well with a gun issue again, so not a good one for him.
Paul van den Bosch coming second to Ronnie Graham in Super Senior as well.
John, 3 rounds in, and I've noticed a huge difference in the way these competitors are shooting, especially today with the angles they're using on the long ranges as well. Can you talk through what's going on?
Yeah, well, it's something that we expected to happen. I've got my competition gun here, and in the first competition, because we're the only range in the country that really shoots up to 100 metres to full Minirifle regulations, most people turned up in the first competition having a red dot, so a small optic on top of the gun, which isn't magnified at all, just gives a little dot that you can see a target on, but it's not magnified. And a lot of people realise that's actually quite a long way to actually shoot for the dot. So what we've seen is people realise they have to shoot at long distance and short distance as well. They've gone to a multi-optic setup, which is pretty much what we run here. So what we have here is a primary optic, which has got magnification. In this case, it's a Hawke optic with a magnification from 1 to 6 times. So that I have 0 to shoot at 25 metres and beyond with a holdover. And then mounted on the cant, which is where you see people adjusting the gun going from one optic to another, I've got an aim point red dot, and this is 0 to only 5 metres. So there's little short targets that are really up close, where you've seen a lot of shooters miss because they're shooting over the top of them. This is 0 to be exactly on that point. So if I aim at a short target, I'll use a small red dot up close. If I'm going to a longer distance target, I'll go to the primary optic and a longer distance where I've got magnification as well. And what people are realising is that if you're shooting a course of fire that has a metre and then 100 metres away, one optic's hard to work with. Not impossible, and a lot of people do, but having 2 does make it easier.
Yeah, so by the end of the competition, are we going to see about 4 or 5 optics on the guns?
There is a limit. I mean, I have 3. I also have a laser on the front, which is 0 for hip shooting, which you rarely use, but is there in case I need it. But I think you'll find it's interesting today. I counted around about half the competitors running multi-optics. If you compare it to the first round, it was myself, maybe one other person doing it. So obviously it's people realising that one optic for this kind of distance and this kind of practical shooting is not the optimum to have going further forward.
Yeah, when you add in a bipod as well, which Ben Ducker uses, it makes a hell of a gun.
Well, today we had a stage obviously where we had the bipod shooting from the table, and some people didn't use a bipod, but it does make that accuracy a little more confident at longer distance. Some people get away without using it, some people do. A few of the competitors running standing bipods, etc., then it starts getting a question mark whether it's useful or not. But certainly a little small bipod doesn't weigh anything. I run a Javelin bipod which is made out of carbon fibre, so it weighs literally a few ounces. I don't notice it on the gun. A big heavy bipod will affect the actual angle of the gun, so you have to be careful when you use it. But in practical shooting, you are allowed to remove the bipod from the gun in between stages. You can't change optics. You can't suddenly add one on and take one off. It has to stay on the gun from the beginning of the competition to the end.
Well, thank you very much, John. So there's your brief about the optics. Let's head back out onto the stages.
So the final stage is about to get underway, and it's the full length of the 100-metre course.
Yep, another run and gun. Very popular with the shooters, this. You can't beat a bit of running down a range and shooting a gun. However, the little yellow balls are making an appearance again, and we know how much they like those ones.
So here's the stage map.
Yep, so what you've got here is little yellow balls all over the place, from far distance and from up close. With lots of barriers in between, so the shooters have to negotiate their way around the barriers to make sure they can see the target to shoot them, and then make sure those targets fall off.
And it's Matt Liddy to kick us off.
Again, there are so many ways you can shoot this course of fire. Run down up close, shoot them from further distance. There is no right or wrong.
One thing they have to remember to do is change mag as they're moving.
Very true. And also be careful of their arc of fire. It's very easy to run past the target and then swing back to shoot it. If you go beyond the 180 degrees, it will be disqualification. So have to be ultra careful about that.
lovely view overlooking the 100-metre range.
Yep, I think he's got them all. Also, you're getting very close to targets, so you shoot over the top. Here's Ben.
It's like playing pool, then one ball into the other.
Yeah, luck of the draw, I think, is the answer. He hasn't forgotten that one.
Seem to be tackling these balls with relative ease compared to the other stages.
I think, yeah, the shooters are getting used to how to shoot them. Before they were shooting over the top, and now they've realised that... oh, sorry, shooting underneath. Now they've realised to shoot on target.
So we've just seen Ben, and this is the man coming into this round who was in front of him in the championship. I don't think he will be coming the end of this, though.
He's a good stages for Kelvin. Now, Kelvin does like a bit of run and gunning.
Oh, jam.
Yeah. Don't think it slowed him down too much. It jammed at the right time, really, in between taking shots. As you say, 5 rounds to get a ball target is 2 feet away.
But you have to make sure, John.
Well, yeah, it's definitely gone, isn't it? Interesting. They find the balls at longer distance easier to shoot than the ones up close. Good run, though.
Richard Baird, who split Ben Ducker and Kelvin Leeton in the last stage.
Oh, he's quite close to the 180 there. You need to be careful.
There's no warnings, is there? It's just straight DQ.
There'll be a warning for the first transgression. After that, it'll be immediate DQ. Knocked that one over myself there. Looks a good run. Taking his time on these ones, I think. See, that's a good example. If you're moving and shooting, it works well with shotgun because they have a bigger spread, but shooting a bullet, it really is hard.
Tony Porter. I'd be glad to see the back of this round.
Yeah, he had another fun one, was he, really? Recovering a bit now, though.
That one on the right.
Yeah, I sort of tucked that one there. Hopefully a few people will run straight past it.
It's such a treat, John.
Well, can't make it too easy for him, can you? Yeah, he's shooting low. That's unfortunate. That's going to hurt his time. That last one didn't want to go down, did it?
No.
Last 2.
Struggling with the balls here, Tony.
You finished, unload and
And here's Jim. Last stage of the day.
Well, Kelvin had a not bad run earlier on, so let's see how Jim gets on.
That's interesting how he shot those balls from the starting position.
Yeah, exactly. Rather than run forward and take some, he shot them where they were, so that will save him some time. One left up as he spotted it. Got it. Good run.
Still 3 left over there. Yeah, well done, Jim.
I think that's a winner.
There's Steve. First 2 out of the way, yeah, easily. Let's see if that continues. Yep.
Oh, it's getting very close to that 180 there. Yeah, Clive spotted it. That's a warning. Next time he does it, it'll be DQ, so keep it sensible, Steve.
The closer they are, the more difficult it is.
Tempted to walk it over and kick it over there, wouldn't it, really? think that angle call has put him a little on edge. Rightly so to some extent, but he'll be very, very careful.
He kind of gets his head of himself, doesn't he?
It's speed and accuracy, as they say. There's no point being quick if you miss things.
David Ashcroft.
Again, taking it from the start position, but I don't think it's helped him here, really.
I think it's only Jim who's actually shot the balls on the left from the starting position.
Yeah.
We'll see if that's paid into fruition.
Lost his lucky hat. This could be bad news for him. Again, different angle to shoot those from. He's left one up, so I'm not sure it's helping him. As he spotted it. Yep, had to go back. That again, that miss there has cost him 2 or 3 seconds, I think. Last two. Yep, I think that would have cost him a bit, that miss one.
Those two on the podium seem easier to hit than the other ones.
Sometimes that further distance makes it easier for him.
There's Paul van den Bosch. Ronnie beat him in a super senior category in the last stage. Let's see what happens this stage.
Well, I think it's fair to say Paul's a bit more lighter on his feet than Ronnie, so it's probably a stage more suitable for him. Still got to knock him down though.
If you finished, unload and shoot it.
That's the end of stage 6 and also round 3. Ben Ducker takes the win over Jim Starley. Kelvin Leeton in 4th place. Let's see what that does to the championship standings. Well, it's Jim Starley still in the lead. Kelvin Leeton, Ben Ducker joint on 166 points for 2nd. There's a battle for 4th place as well, so please do tune in next time to see how all this unfolds.